All right, how you doing, YouTube? Doing a couple videos today. So, uh, by you can, by you looking at the title and everything, it's what I really think about the Hebrew Israelites as a whole. Um, and and what I think that kind of leans on to what I think about a lot of subjects actually. Um, you know, what I've learned and how God has been teaching me and dealing with me is you can't forsake learning anything from anybody really. People are quick to judge. People are quick to call everybody this, that, and the third. Yes, these people are like some of them, not these people. My bad. Y'all my people too. We the same. But a lot of them on YouTube, or a lot of these people on the street corner, a guy's been like, you learn stuff from them because they dive into this stuff, and some of it might be wrong, some of it might be like blatantly like wicked, but like they're doing stuff for the movement, and it's time that I come to try to teach the right thing, but opposite of that, I got to give them grace because a lot of them are misguided, a lot of them oned, a lot of them are hurt from the racial biases that plague our society today. Once you figure out who you are, and then when I went into the research, and I realized how deceptive these people were who were doing this stuff against us, and they have this, they were white skinned. You was like, it's like every step that you ever took for the last 500 and something years, it's just been like you were just, they put everything in their way to just blind you, put a chair in your way so you trip over that and fall, lop off your legs so you can't even walk, take your tongue out so you can't speak. It angered me for a little bit, but then God was like, it's like it wasn't them, like it wasn't them now, like their descendants. It's not, for the majority, it's not them. The problem is they don't want to accept that was their heritage, like that's their heritage either. And when you don't, you really don't, you ignore like any sense of trying to right that wrong. And that's where the problem goes. So then you get this pride and this huffed up feeling where you you're the better people. Our people sold slaves. Our people sold us, our own people, into slavery. We're not better, but you finally have something to cling on to. Like you just didn't start as slavery. That's something. That like, oh, I didn't even know I had a history. My history was the block in the corner store. And now the book I've been reading about, that was me. That was my people. That kind of, it's a great feeling, but it can turn into something real quick. So it was like, I got to give them grace for them to get out of it. Now, on the subject to the law, what I think about that, I think that it is a movement by Satan used by God. And that's what I mean by that is these people, some of these Hebrew Israelites who are under these laws do great stuff. I see a YouTube channel, Her Royal Roots, doing great, phenomenal things. Then Hebrew Nation Building, they do great, phenomenal things. Smart brothers, you know what I'm saying? I got into a little spouts with them a couple times, but I see that love for God, and Yah. I see their passion and devotion, and God was like, God was like, you got to give them time, to get out of this. Excuse me, to get out of this law. And what I see is you being under the law and then being freed from the law makes you so much more powerful because you're so much more appreciative of what Jesus did. You just see Jesus everywhere. It's just like, I didn't know I had so much freedom. I didn't know my life changed so much. When you are, so if you were an atheist and you learn this Bible and you're like, oh, now I'm a Christian, like you're like, oh my gosh, Christ redeemed me. You feeling good. When you figure out that like you coming from this Old Testament to the New Testament and figuring out what this law is, man, you really just like explode in like work for God. Like you are just like you just, man, you just got it. You just got it. So I believe that a lot of these people who are under the law, I believe that like that's a movement for God, because a lot of us Hebrews and Israelites, we in the ghettos, and we never had like a father figure or an authoritative figure. So we're and that's by design, and I could get into that. But like so we grow up in a hindrance. We don't know what respect is. We don't have a work ethic, and every time we try to get a work ethic, we're discarded, or we're picked less. With applications, because they don't want a black male doing it. Happened to me like multiple times, filling out applications. You can do studies on it or whatever, but we were stunted in our growth. And so when you put that person, tell him who he is, and he gets under the law, that man is gonna change so crazy. That's that structure he needed. And then when he gets freed from that with Jesus, a force to be reckoned with. So I don't really have any anger for any of these people. I did at first, because when I got freed from the law, I was like, you're teaching all these people bondage. And then I was like, you know what? It'll be all right. I don't have to fight every battle. And I know if you're God's going to get you. So these people who are still, these Hebrew Israelites that are still teaching the law and who are doing good things, man, I know God got you. Jesus going to free you eventually. These Hebrew Israelites I gotta wait for him. I just gotta wait for him. So I think God is using it as like I said in the freedom videos, the law is a school teacher. A lot of us, we need some direction. We need some lashes real quick, to get us straight. It gives us an image to look up to. Like this, I never had a daddy. Like now I can see these Israelites as my father. Like these people were my dads. My dads come from them. I have an image to aspire to, instead of having to do everything on my own, because I never had a daddy. I had to be my own daddy when I was young. That people don't understand how hindering that is to society or whatever. And so yeah, I have no real hate against them. I do have to come against the things they say a lot of the times, because I'm here to free people. I'm here to set people free. That's what God told me to do and speak about. And I have other things to talk about, but that's my assignment. And so yeah, Hebrew Israelites. There's what we have to do is once we come together, because there's a minority of us that I consider myself part of the group, is that we know who we are, but we put Christ first. I see those people all over the internet, and we're growing. But what you got to understand, that these people with these loud mouths on the street corners, you get it. See, when you can get, there's such a thing as good and bad publicity, but bad publicity is good publicity. So there's the saying that there's no such thing as bad publicity, is what I'm getting at. They're waking up a lot of people, but it's like you got to keep getting woken. It's like this sleep is a deep one. You know what I'm saying? You go through a dream, you have to get woken up a couple times. They're spreading an awareness and hate. They got to get out that hate, because it's wrong. Like I'm not saying, I'm just trying to look at the positive and not be too judgmental on them. But we have to get away from this hate. We have to get away from the separatism. And a lot of these people are cults. A lot of these people are legitimately teaching you false doctrines, and they know it, and they don't care, but their pride doesn't want to. They love themselves more than Jesus. And the thing is, the problem with the Hebrew Israelite ism, is that it teaches law more than Jesus. It's we got to get back to the law, statutes, commands. The law ain't gonna save me, man. Jesus got to save me. That law ain't down the cross. You know what I'm saying? That law, or it did and it didn't. It's gotta. The Old Testament ain't gonna jump out and catch a bullet for me. No, I gotta call on the name of Jesus, and I gotta plead the blood. That is what frees me. That is what's redeemed me from the curse. It speaks about the lost and the death. So when these people keep on harking on, we got to get back to the law, statutes, commandments. They don't ever talk about they don't ever talk about Jesus in a hey, this is the man who saved my life type of light. You know, it's always like, oh yeah, this is the Messiah, this is what he did, and then let's get back to the law, or let's get back to the history, or let's get back to this lesson. You know, it's never like he's a side character. You know, when I hear a lot of these doctors now, I research and I listen to these people because they give me a perspective on the Hebrew mindset well more than I ever thought I could. And so so when I look at the Bible again, they give me revelations because I have the mind of Christ. So I'm not under the Old Testament law, but now I have a deeper understanding because I use these people and as a footing. You know what I'm saying? Because not everything they teach is wrong. And so I listen to Christian Jewish people who don't know who we are, and they are under the impression that they're the real Jews. I listen to them. I get great information. They have a love and passion for Jesus Christ, and they are my brother. Because they are my brother in Christ, it doesn't matter to me. I got the DNA. They got the culture. It's fine. You know, they one day they do need to know who they are and who we are, because it is a blasphemy to call yourself a Jew and not be a Jew. But I would consider that man a Jew innerly. But like you need to understand the physicality too. There is a physicality. You can't get around it. I mean, God makes that separation clear. He says in the spirit we're the same, but in the flesh we are different. You know, like, and so there's you can learn anything from anybody. And a caveat to that, I've learned so much from these Christians, and you can't, and to the Hebrew Israelites that are still under the law or whatever, and think that you have to come back and teach the right way. Look, it's already promised that in the end times we are going to show up mightily as a people and show the power of God in our spirit and our voice and our miracles. You know what I'm saying? All because of the power of Christ. You know what I'm saying? And that's already set in stone. You don't have to be the most perfect, correct person in the world. You don't. It's arrogant to think that that these people who have been following God and following Christ for all these years, even though we forgot our name, didn't get one correct revelation. You know what I'm saying? It's like God didn't deal with them, or God didn't recognize them. No, God recognized them, God honored them, and God loved them as his people. And so that's what I believe in the whole Hebrew Israelite, whole Christians and Jews and all of that. You know, I can't come at nobody with no hate, man. You know, it's not in me. I got too much Jesus in me to be hating people. But that don't mean I'm never gonna like shy away from who I am. I'm gonna claim who I am. I'm a descendant of Aaron. God told me that specifically. I will not give up my name, but I don't always have to tell who I am. You can know who I am by my actions. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes Jesus said, I'm the Son of Man. Sometimes Jesus said, who am I? You say who I am. Because they noticed it. They recognized it. You know, like if I have a conversation, what's the greater good? If I'm having a conversation, I'm trying to minister to somebody. Am I trying to preach black Jesus, or am I trying to get that person to heaven and get that person out their situation? You know, like what's the greater good? Right now, I'm focused on that person's soul, that woman, that man's soul. And so, yeah, that's how God operates, you know. And so he'll give a little bit to everybody, because he don't want everybody to get prideful. And so and then it makes you graceful, because it's like, oh, you know, you got to be human. You got to understand that you make mistakes too. You're not always going to be right. And so if you understand that you make mistakes, you can see somebody else making mistakes. It's like, hey, man, we all make mistakes. Let's do better. Let's be in God. Let's get to who we were supposed to be in God. And that's really my take on it. I go on tangents sometimes, but shalom. Thank you.